looks like. Okay.
Okay.
So we're live, but I'm just gonna do an audio check
All right.
because I learned my lesson with the audio check. There's been a couple. Yeah, there's been a couple where I like completely missed it.
Understand. Experience is a cruel but effective
Yeah,
teacher.
there's been a couple where. There you go. Okay. Hi. Good evening. We're here at Crescendo Studios. It's the first open mic for summer 2025.
Yeah.
I'm here today with Zanetta. It's our first interview ever as an
Mhm.
artist, and lucky me, I get to interview her. So Zanetta, welcome.
Thank you.
And you already performed earlier today.
Yes.
And you perform, I want to say like R&B style.
I'm not limited. Actually, I am a genuine music lover. I grew up in a household where I listened to R&B, country, pop, opera, rock.
Opera.
Yeah, so I'm a dancer by training, at least initially. So my love of music is expansive, and so whatever I feel, however the song comes to me, it
Uh-huh.
could be rock, it could be opera, it could be country, it could be R&B.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a dancer by training as well, but usually when you come to these open mics, you were just like opera. Yes, because I heard you perform at Social Garden, and I remember it being very high pitched,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, yes. But
Um,
I range from soprano down to probably touch on baritone.
I know soprano is very high, but
Yeah.
I was touchdown baritone. What is that?
So I'll sing. My range goes from soprano, alto, tenor, and then it reaches to at least the top of what baritone sings. So I'm writing down here.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Up here. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. You've been train. How long have
How
you
long
been
have I been singing?
Have you been training your voice, your vocal
Ah,
cords? Yeah.
I've been singing since I was 2 and had been in various choirs and gone to voice lessons. And then my mom, she sings, so
Okay.
there's that influence. So informal training and some formal training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, do you mainly do open mics and so on, or do you also outside of open mics? Do you are you putting together music in the studio, or do you just go on like live performances and rock it out there?
So right now, mainly doing open mics, but we are writing songs, working on songs, and headed into studio to work on songs for the second EP.
Okay,
Yeah.
second EP. So that's a term I just learned earlier
Mhm.
from the earlier interview. I think the last time I heard your song was like a heartbreak type of song, right? Is
Yes.
that what kind of songs do you usually? What kind of yeah? What, your lyrics? What are they usually about?
They're
Is it
about
like from life experiences or just like, do you write it with somebody and think, hey, this might sound good?
I don't usually so lyrics wise, I don't usually write with people, but it is mostly about relationships. It is about life experiences. So they range from romantic relationships to a song on the album called Small Doses, which is about familial relationships and about those relatives that you can only take in small doses. I need you to stay. I don't need you to visit. I'll come see you. Thank you. So those kind of relationships.
That's
But
funny. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I think when I heard you perform, you were like, well, I hope you can't relate to this music type of yeah, yeah. It was like a heartbreak type of song.
Yes, that's ode to Narcissus. And yeah, it really was a heartbreak song. I think we started work on it. Well, I started writing it in 2021,
Okay.
and then I sat down at the piano with Steve, who is the composer. He's the pianist behind a lot of the songs, and it just really took shape from there. So it took, I guess you could say, it took 3 years to write that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, okay? This your camera. I want your camera to.
Am I looking enough at the camera?
You were, yeah.
Okay. Good.
The camera just died on me, so
Oh,
I would hate for you only your voice to come through. Come on, please, please.
Mom, mom, are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need a throat lozenge or anything?
Um, you have one?
You had some in your coat pocket, in your jacket pocket?
Oh, okay.
Camera's still like we could just improvise and we could just center the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you can put that one here,
Okay.
right here.
This
Okay.
good?
Yeah, we'll put this one on you.
Okay.
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 Go ahead, have a seat, and you know what we'll do with this one? Okay. Settings. We can just put a FaceTime camera. It'll just be the audio. I'm sorry for this. I wanted to show you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, there you go. Okay, we'll just rock it like this. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe one more option. Okay. Does that look better?
No. No. Okay. Now you got me. But it needs to come towards you a little bit. There. Okay. There we go. I think that's good. Okay.
Technical difficulties, but we're pushing through. We're pushing through.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
um, what I wanted to ask you was, you talked about how heartbreaks happened, right? So when people go through like difficult times,
Mm-hmm.
right, darkness or whatever, they usually how did you find the courage, I would say, to make that a more healthier expression? Because like the Preacher Proc channel that we have is all about releasing, having a healthier outlet than going down the rabbit hole of darkness and self-destruction and all that stuff, right? So something like a heartbreak can be of that, can lead to that, but it sounds like you found a better outlet.
Um.
How did you, in your experience, find the courage to say, you know what, this one's better off being a song rather than the demise of my time?
Um. I
If
well,
that makes sense.
I think. Um. When I initially started working on a song, I was just trying to make sense of all of the different emotions and like everything that happened, and so it became something of a catharsis for me to kind of journal, and then it became a song. How did uh, I guess not go down the rabbit hole?
But I guess by journaling, that's a pretty big way.
Mhm.
Um, it's a good self therapy.
It is.
Yeah, and that's how you found your outlet.
Yeah. It putting it all down kind of helped me right size everything as far as my personal responsibility, but also the other person's role in everything. Because sometimes we can go very dark if we're thinking I was horribly wronged and it's all the other person's faults, and we decide to kind of one side things. And I think there's something to be said for just kind of getting it all out there and then kind of looking at it and getting a perspective. What can I take away from this situation so that it doesn't ever happen again? But also, when the right person comes along, or as I'm searching for the right person, I begin to take a better shape. So I think there's something to be said for it. Yeah, you might go down the rabbit hole, just don't stay there. Find the lesson and keep it
I
moving
like that.
and move towards something, hopefully something better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably go down the rabbit hole, but but don't make that the stop.
No.
Just continue proceeding ahead. And I
Yeah.
like how you deal with certain family members in small doses. Like I kind of like how you recognize that some people are not the best, are like energy vampires. I think I saw that term. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're not. I like how you kind of found that. Was that just like as you got older, or after some experiences that
Um,
you realized, you know what, this person is real garbage, man.
after some experiences, and it's not to say I didn't go down the rabbit hole there. I'm certain there were some very, very negative feelings at different points. And it got to the point where I would be stressed. I wrote small doses in 15 minutes. I heard this person was coming to visit, and I wrote the song in 15 minutes. That's how
That's
stressful and anxious their presence made me. But writing that song kind of helped me, A, find the love because there is love there. But I also understand that this person works well in certain circumstances. This is where, I can deal with them here. I cannot deal with them there.
mm,
So yeah, it's about finding perspective, and I think writing these songs has helped me find
is your
good
outlet.
yeah a good
Yes,
perspective.
is
I,
your outlet. Okay.
yeah.
How often do you know train your voice, or warm up your voice, or practice, because it's a muscle, right? Like your vocal
Mhm.
cords. How often do you do it?
Well, I sing daily, but as far as like really training and stretching and going through exercises, um, I, in all honesty, don't do them enough. I don't do them enough. So I do go to voice
The
lessons.
honesty, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I go to voice lessons at least every week to keep me honest and keep me accountable as far as my continued growth.
yeah.
But generally speaking, I sing for pleasure. I sing for emotional release on a regular basis, like daily. In that
Okay.
respect, yeah.
Mornings or evenings?
It depends. I probably sound better in the evenings,
Evenings.
yes. But I will sing in the mornings. I do sing in the morning.
Yeah.
And also sing when I need to try and stay awake.
Oh, is that right? It's like your way of like keeping yourself up.
Yeah, that and listening to music. So I could be literally about to fall asleep at my desk or fall asleep doing anything, but if I add music to it, then I'm able to get through it.
Keep yourself energized.
Yes, get through the drudgery of pretty much anything.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah,
Um, so you said you enjoy the live performances and stuff like that, right?
I do. Still have nerves when I do them, but yes, I enjoy it a lot.
Do you really have the nerves? Oh man, I do as well. How do you just you just go power through it?
Yeah, yeah, just do it. And of course, the more I do it, then the more it's like, okay, yes, you're nervous going up there, but where's your command of your voice, right? Where's your control of the situation? This is your instrument. Go up there and own it. So they may call my name and my legs may feel like spaghetti, but I'll still walk on that stage and get up there. And it's like, okay, diaphragmatic breathing and go.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
So voice lessons for a while. You've been doing that for a while since you've been singing from a really young age and stuff,
Off
right?
and on, yeah.
Have you ever felt like where it was just mundane music or not really? Is you know what I mean? Because you're since you've been doing it from a long time. Have you ever felt like you haven't been have you ever felt bored out of it, or not really, not
No,
from this aspect of your life?
no, not bored out of it. I think music is a go to for me. So never bored out of it. If anything, I would say I might feel kind of intimidated by it. You ever listen to someone and just like, wow, I need to sit down somewhere because I've just been blown away. Um, but never mundane. Even if I'm listening to something that doesn't ignite passion, I can still enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
still music. There's a rhythm to it. There's a rhyme, or oh, they did this. I would have liked to have heard that. but
yeah.
but never just mundane, never just blah.
Do you go to opera shows? Because like opera is one of the genres you're in. Do you go to? Have you? Because I've seen people in movies go to opera shows, but I've never been myself. Have you?
I have actually. A friend of mine, she sings with the Washington Opera, and so I when she performs, I do go, and so it's an enjoyable experience. They're amazing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like because it's supposed to be dramatic and such, right?
Hmm. Yes, very, very high drama and just amazing vocal control. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And where do you see yourself taking your, your? This is not a hobby for you. This is
No.
so much more. So what? Yeah, where do you see yourself taking it next?
Um, well, I'm going to. My first album is titled Out the Box because I didn't want to be put in a box. I wanted to do, as I said, the music that comes to me. And so just actually expanding that box, right? So on the first album, you heard R&B, you heard jazz, you heard go-go, you heard a little bit of pop. But there's more to my love of music and to the feelings that I have. So you'll hear opera, you'll hear rock opera. You're going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hear some
What's
of the.
rock opera like?
It's a blend of them. So like one of my favorite groups is Skunk Anansi actually, and they have this amazing way of blending. Like Skin has a very operatic voice, but like rock and opera, alternative and opera, they
I
are
must see that.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I must listen to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's rock and opera, there's more go-go, there's more jazz, there's just there's more. There's metal even. So as these
It's so difficult for me to imagine. I know I'm generalizing for you to listen to metal.
I
You
listen
have
to
like so much delicacy going. Delicate nature. I can see opera, but metal, the grunge. Yeah, but yeah,
yeah, I
since
love
it's
it all.
music, yeah,
Yes.
it's an emotion, right?
Hmm.
And you probably feel it as well. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so next, so you've released this album already.
Well, I released Out the Box, but now we're working on the second album. I have no idea what it will be titled. I'm just taking the songs as they come to me, and
Okay.
then we'll figure out what it should be titled.
Your team's like your support group as well.
They are. If I say, if I walk in and I say, okay, let's try this, they're willing to play. They are game to play. It's like, okay, this is different.
Like a
Z.
band almost. They're like your band almost.
Well, I don't have a band, but I have and I
Beat producer, beat
right.
person.
I have a composer and engineering partner. Well, composer and engineering partners. So
Yeah.
Carl and Steve, they are amazing, and yeah, wherever I want to go in music, they are willing to go with me.
Shout out to them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. How long have you been working with them,
Oh.
making this team, the support group happen?
So I went into studio with them in 2021.
Okay.
And so I've been working with them ever since. We recorded Caught Up in the Rapture when I was just trying to see if I had anything, worth recording, if I had any kind of gifting at all. And we've just been working together
So
since. Ever since.
2021, that was recent. Even though you've been singing for like from a really young age,
Mhm.
you kind of doubted, or you weren't sure if it was like an album level type of.
Right. So I my house is like Disney. My
Really?
yes. So my brother and I, we grew up listening to. We watched all of the Disney movies. My mom, she would sing. She'd sing "Good Morning" to him, to my brother and me. And so we grew up in a house filled with music because of her. If she was upset, she would be humming. And first, the top of the morning, there would be gospel music playing on a cassette deck. And so it was just something that we did. And then through the years, I would sing at karaoke, and people would kindly come up and actually give me money after I would sing. And that was the first time I was just like, oh, wow, this is interesting.
Okay,
People
okay.
think, some people think that I actually have something here. But it wasn't until 2021 after I lost my brother and I had this relationship that led to Ode to Narcissus that I really sat down and said, I just need a way to deal with
To
all of
actually.
my loss. Let's see what it's going to be because it was very life altering for me. My life was very geared towards caring for my brother. And then we lost him. So then it's just like, okay, well, what are the things that you want to do with yourself now? And I decided to try music because I spent so much of my time making music, making up songs to entertain my brother. So I needed it to go someplace else. And
Yeah.
so that's how we got to let's just see if it's as good as you dreamt it could ever be.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So you definitely, yeah, that was what we started the conversation earlier with, like going down the rabbit hole or soaring high with it. And that's what, yeah, of all that pain of
Yeah.
losing your brother, and especially you were singing to him,
Yeah.
right? He was ill, probably, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was born with cerebral palsy, but he was the love of my life,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, forget Narcissus. Like, yes, he Narcissus has a role, but my brother was, and I would make up songs, and he would suffer through hours of me just singing at the computer or just singing, and
Yeah.
but I would make up songs for him. That was my first songwriting, was making up songs for him. And so then, of course, all of this musicality that's just a part of regular life, where does it go when you lose your muse? What do you do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you like took something that was all over the place and you channeled it and you took it to your studio and you said, "All right, guys, what do you think about this? Congratulations!" And then you have a whole album out. Okay. And how are you promoting where do you promote your work, open mics and such?
Yes. So
Mm.
mainly open mics at this time, and then of course social media.
So yeah, where can people find your music?
Well, I my album Out the Box is streaming on all music platforms.
Okay.
Place
Zanetta.
Yes, Zanetta Out the Box. And then I love coming to Crescendo. It's actually my open mic home. So I was here when they had their very first Thursday mic
Is that
live.
right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
And because as I said, I can be nervous. I need a safe place where I can come in and feel encouraged and feel nurtured, and I definitely get that
Yeah.
here at Crescendo. But as I've started to promote the album more, I branched out to other open mics, and so you can find me in the DC metropolitan area, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zanetta. Out the box. And you feel like you didn't want to be in a box, and now that's why you labeled your album Out the Box. Is that in the box, like not just in musical genre, but just like in everywhere in life?
That's an interesting question. We could say that, yes. So I don't necessarily want to. Who wants to be limited? I think society and other people put limits on individuals, and if you embrace that, that might be where you stay. But you might be so much more expansive than that. And if you don't, if you stay in your box, or you stay in a comfort zone, or you stay where people tell you to stay, you don't know how much further you could go. So when people say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't try that," or "I don't think that suits your voice," or what have you, well, then of course I want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Not in
When
a
did you
rebel.
have this realization? I feel like it's usually when you become an adult that you do, but some adults kind of don't really make that mark either. When did you realize, like, I kind of want to explore the water myself, and if I kind of get struggle, if I struggle a little bit, choke on the water a little bit, that's fine. But I wanna. When did Was there an instance in your life that you felt,
Hmm.
I can kind of explore the box myself and the boundaries of my box myself. Create the boundaries of the box myself.
I don't know that I had a time such as that.
You just mold it over.
I think so. Like, I grew up in dance class and in choirs and things like that. So, um, you know, whenever asked to do something, anything decent or appropriate, well, then I'll try it. And so that I think that that's something perhaps my parents instilled in me. Give it a try. Let's see how we do.
Mm,
And so just that's continued on since childhood. It's a nice thing to have instilled.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anybody or any groups in your life that kind of try to put you in a box?
Um. Hmm. That's interesting.
Would it be family, friends, or community?
Um. Well, actually, that whole group,
All
honestly,
of them, right?
all of them at different at different points, I'm sure has tried to put me in a box, not in a negative way, but people are looking to be able to label things just because it helps them understand how they want to relate. Um. So yeah,
That's
yeah.
fabulous. Yeah, that's exactly how. Yeah,
Hmm.
because they want to understand what in the heck is going on there.
Right.
But why should you have to? conform and create a box based on their limits,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that's what Out the Box, right?
Mhm.
Is that the album Out the Box is
Yes.
all about?
Yes.
All right, congratulations,
Thank
Zanetta, on taking something that was just sporadic and out there and to making it an album. I wish you all the best with all the open mics and where you're headed with your talents and gifts and your profession. You've made it a profession. You're making it a profession, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where you're really harnessing it. So congratulations.
Thank
All the
you.
best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So
Thanks for putting
nice
up with
chatting
my
with you.
likewise, likewise.